Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page here right at Facebook, where I do a daily or nearly daily live stream based on the divination cards that I draw in the morning. And really it is a cyber roundtable, spiritual roundtable, where we have a conversation about spirit and also a spiritual conversation. It's Sunday, January 27th. We're near the end of January already. Can you believe it? I know every month seems to fly by, doesn't it? Faster and faster. So anyway, welcome. I am broadcasting from Star Nations Academy, and here in Tomah, Wisconsin, it is a sunny afternoon, but it's really cold. Our high today is 5 degrees above zero. Again, it's been pretty bitter cold here. And it's one of those days where you really want to bake something just to get the house nice and warm, right? So let's see who's going on here in the chat room. Julie's here. Julie Shumway Hill. Hi, Julie. Good to have you here this afternoon. Hope you're staying warm. Rochelle here is saying, hello, you're on cold, nice sunny day. I know it's cold, and sorry to miss your phone call again this morning, Rochelle, but I was busy with Mom. And Violet says, hi, Neshi. Hi, Violet. Good to have you here. And I did get your message, your messenger message about Mom. I appreciate that. I'm going to talk to her about it and see. So before we start rolling with the card information and other chit chat, I'm going to like and share the broadcast. And we're going to, I know it's here. I just have to scroll. Here we are. So I'm going to like it and I'm going to share it. And I always share it to my news feed, just so that my friends know that I'm live streaming. Right now. And then please join. There we go. And then we'll post that. Yay. There we go. Easy peasy, as they say. All right. It just takes a second, right? And I don't know about you, but I noticed something. In the last probably a couple of months for sure, is that I've had many people that I've known in my youth. It's like we're coming around to a full circle, In fact, through Paul, through my husband, had a conversation with another classmate. And Marley was here on Friday, and Julie is in my inner circle now at Star Nations. And so, there's people that I've known for like over 40 years are coming back into my world. And I was kind of reflecting on that this morning, and was thinking, it's really kind of nice to have people that knew you when, and that liked you. It wasn't our high school is just like anybody else's high school, all cliquish and blah blah blah, right? But there are people within each one of those cliques that were probably more than one, that were actually really decent human beings, really nice people. Even in the mean girl cliques, right? There were one or two that really, they just didn't fit in there, and you wondered, why are they with them? But, as adults, and here we are, several of them are grandparents, and they see their life a little bit differently. And I just love having these women back in my life again. It's not by chance. It's not by coincidence. I believe it's by divine plan, right? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Cindy Lynn's here too. Hello, Cindy Lynn. Good to have you here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. I appreciate that. I do. And my sister, Minnie Kansman's in the house. Minnie's here too. Does that mean Ann is still with you, Minnie? And Rochelle shared. Thank you, Rochelle. I appreciate that. I I always say that when we do our sharing of whatever live stream, especially Star Nation's live stream that you're doing with us and for us, it's kind of like light work or energy work or civic duty, to help those that are searching, because we remember what that's like, and some of us still consider ourselves seekers of knowledge, right? And spiritual experience. Yeah. So when we share the live stream shows, maybe we're helping somebody out to find the information that they're looking for. Yeah. Hey, and Stephanie's in the house. How can I tell? It's because she's doing that really cool stuff for us to let people know about like magazine and the shows and that sort of thing. Thank you, Stephanie. So before I forget, because I've forgotten almost every single day this past week, there's something I've been wanting to do, and I remember it as I'm going out the door after the show is done. And I'm thinking, oh, dang it. I forgot again. Oh, and Anne just returned home this afternoon. Oh, well, safe travels to her, and I bet you guys had a great time. Great time. All right. So, we're working on the February issue of Star Nations Magazine, 2019, issue 69. Yes, 69 issues. And I was working on it last night, and I'm going to start again this afternoon, getting the articles prepped. And other than, let's see, the editors, I would be like maybe the second person to read the author's article, right? And as they come in, as they get posted to my email, I can't wait to read them, and if necessary, to pair up a really cool picture with them. But one of the things I wanted to do today is to make sure that every month I give away a back issue of Star Nations Magazine. And I usually do it on the third Monday of every month. And I paired it up with something that I usually talk about on the third Monday. And I paired it up with Julie Hedges' show that we promote, and also Paul Krause's show that we promote on that third Wednesday. For whatever reason, I don't know, I kept forgetting. In fact, I think it was like 2 days ago, I said, don't let me forget. We forgot anyway. But this morning, this is what I did when I started setting up for the show, is I took out, it would be February 2018 and February 2017. These are the past issues. This is the 2017 issue, right? And this is the 2018 issue. Yeah, and so these two are going to get given away today. Yeah. And we're going to do that in just a second, because I'm getting it done today. I'm not going to be walking out to the car thinking, rats, I forgot again. Rats. Well, we get talking, right? And we get going on the cards, and look what happens, right? All right, so I'm looking in the chat and I'm doing some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so the 2017 issue. The 2017 issue goes to Violet Colby. Violet, if you could message me your postal address, okay? Your postal address, and I'll get this mailed out to you. And the other one goes to Cindy Crayons. This is the February 18 issue. I hope you don't have this one yet. And so if you could PM me your postal address, I will get that into the mail to you, okay? All right. Yay, we got that done. Congratulations, Violet and Cindy. I hope you enjoy those back issues. I have all of these sitting here, and rather than collecting dust and not getting used or enjoyed, I thought we could do this monthly giveaway, right? And so, ladies, I hope you enjoy your issues, and let me know. Let me know how well you like them. That would be nice. Okay. Oops, shook my table. All right. Violet, thank you. Thank you. I will. Okay, great. Absolutely great. We'll get that mailed out to you. Yay. I like those giveaways. Okay, so back to the card draw. Actually, George, the 6-month-old puppy now, he's getting to be such a big boy. He was helping this morning. He was up early, and usually he goes back to bed, but not this morning. He was following me around the house, and I get things done for Mom, and she was set for the morning. And so I settled in with the cards, and he jumped up on the couch with me and sat next to me as I was shuffling. It felt like he was going to go in and grab, and I said, we're working right now. This isn't playtime. We're working, and so you need to help me hold the energy for the whole group here, so we can have our spiritual teams come in and show us what's the most important information to know today, for our highest good. And he sat there and watched me shuffle, and when the card jumped out, I thought for sure he would go in to try to grab it, but he didn't. He nudged it, put his nose on it. But this is the first card that came. Spring. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if today was warmer and we're looking towards spring, and it was right around the corner, like in the same block, right? Spring. It says, see your seeds grow. See your seeds grow. We got to take a look. And I remember, and we got the flower of life. I think that's the flower of life. Yep. Flower of life in each corner. Let's get tilted just a bit. And I remember Mervyn Kelly being in the chat the last time we got this card, and he explained to us the difference from a bardic perspective, the difference between the hare and the rabbit. And this is actually because Kyle Gray, the author of the deck of cards that we're using, which is Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Kyle's from the UK. He's from Scotland. And the artist is Lily Moses, and she's from New Zealand. So she's part of from the UK as well. And so this is where, their perspective is maybe slightly different than those of us here in the States, okay? Just slightly different. And I wouldn't have known that had Mervyn not helped us to understand it the last time we had this card. And then we also have that's thistle in the background, which is one of Scotland's primary medicine plants. Yeah. Yeah. Just trying to see if there was anything else on the card. But this rabbit looks like the hare looks like he's leaping, doesn't it? Like he's leaping, taking that leap of faith. And with their long ears, there again, we can clue into the clairaudient, right? The clear hearing. Yeah. Hey, Tina's in the house. Hello, Tina. Good to have you here. It's always good to see you in the chat. Yeah. And oh my goodness, and Donnie's with us too. He says, hi y'all, love and light to you guys. Love and light right back at you, Donnie. Thank you for being here, for joining us. I know that you're from Michigan too, right? Yeah. It's good to have you here. Yep. Violet says thistle is a protection herb. It certainly is. It certainly is. And you see it on so many different things for Scotland, right? A lot of the clans have it depicted on their shields and their colors, and yeah, And so, and you read about it in historical novels and that sort of thing. They write a lot about thistle as well. Yeah. That's good to know. But Tina's saying, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Now that is a saying I haven't heard in a while. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. Kind of like the hair. Kind of like this guy. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. You know, we're sitting in a time on the medicine wheel at due north, and it's January. And really, when especially when we start heading toward like the winter solstice in December, and we're in the northwestern part of the wheel, you know, we're pulling in, right? We're going inward, and many times, you know, it's all about that reflection work, but it's also about dreaming about the future. It's when we actually plant the seeds, the thoughts of what we would like to bring in the wintertime, what we want in our lives in the springtime, I mean. And so when this card literally jumped out of the deck this morning, I thought, well, this is kind of perfect because we can share about the kind of dreaming that we've done during this month and December about your futures, about the springtime. What kind of seeds did you plant? Have you planted? In that reflective work that we've been doing, right? And looking at the springtime, planting those thoughts, the seeds right now in January, so that when spring comes around, when we're talking about March and April, is what is going to be breaking through Grandmother Earth. You know, when the seeds, those early seeds start to sprout and how they break through the soil. And so what are your thoughts and your dreams? Because that's how our dreams begin, don't they? With our thought. It's like, I'm thinking about blah, 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 right? And this is what I'd really like to bring in. And then when we start the dreaming, actually visualizing it, whatever it is, and using our imagination. It's good stuff, that imagination. And then when we put our emotions behind it, that's the fuel. That's the fuel to bring it into the physical world. And so what is it that you guys have been wanting to bring forth in the springtime? What have you planted? I'd like to know. Yeah. Because, you know, we've thought a lot about this, talked a lot about changing our perspective. You know, we've talked about being really consciously aware of our thoughts, and when they start to go more in the lower vibrational negative area, is to delete that, flip it around to a positive, or completely wipe it clean and do a brand new positive thought, right? It's kind of like the same work, I think, when we're looking at what we want to bring into the springtime. What is it that we want to create in our life, manifest in our life, to bring it in the springtime? It's the same process, you know. I know the key is in the visualization and actually feeling the emotions around it. Okay, and it can be anything. It doesn't really matter the what as much as the how. Okay, so even if you want to bring into your life a different vehicle, a different car, okay, it doesn't really matter that you want to bring in a materialistic item, right? No matter what it is. It's in the how. It's in how you think about it, how you planted the seeds, the kind of visualization you did, and the emotions to back that up and to catapult it, give it the fuel to bring it into the physical world. That's the most important, because it depends on your frequency at that time. if you're happy and you're joyful, and and he's like, I just can't wait to see that, and you can actually feel yourself in the car, behind the wheel, driving it, what it feels like, what a new car smells like, those kinds of things. That's what matters. That's what matters, because the process is the same. If it wasn't something materialistic, it could be, I don't know, something that's not materialistic. What would that be? Having more peace in your life, having a more joyful, abundant life, right? The process is the same. It's the visualization. It's the thought first that plants the seed. Then it's the visualization and bringing those images to you that, I tell you what, you can feel yourself there, right? And then it's the emotions. It's the emotions behind it. Now, I know that for a fact. How do I know that? It's because that's what I've done. That's what I've done. Yeah. Rochelle, praying for T. Rump and his cohorts. Seriously. Well, good. Yeah, because, asking, that angels go to them of the most appropriate realm to help them to have more compassion, right, and understanding. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. Tina says, I have tried to plant flowers this time. Hopefully it will work out. This time spent time outside with the sun and the earth. So you physically planted a garden for springtime flowers. That's cool. So that meant that you had to select the bulbs, right? And plant them into grandmother earth. So literally planting the seeds. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing Minnie Cansman's in the house, because I tell you what, she spends October and November planting bulbs. Yeah. Because we do a sisters call once a month. There's 5 of us. And Minnie will share with us about how she went to the store and she bought, X number of bulbs and has got them in the ground, and can't wait for what they look like in the springtime. And she's really good at the planting the thoughts and the visualization, and no matter what it is, and the feelings behind it. Right? I hope they go well for you, Tina. Gonna have to take a picture of them and show it to us. All right, when they break through the soil, and then when they start to blossom. If you could do that for that for us, that would be great. Rochelle says, be positive about this country. Go to as many workshops as Star Nations Academy holds. Well, thank you. Yeah, to be positive. Absolutely. That's a good one. And even when we're positive, and that is our intention, and it becomes like breathing, to be positive. There are those moments in those days when we're not, right? Because we're human, we're two-legged. It happens. It depends on what we do with it. That makes a difference. So the one that's the most important to really notice and do something about is fear. Because I tell you what, fear is the one emotion that will really bring your frequency really low. Okay, and in order to change that, we have to face it. We have to turn around and look at it, no matter what the size is, right? No matter what the size of it is. It's important. It's important. Why? Is because it leads to healing. And every time we heal and release something, that's our soul growth. That's our wisdom. We learned something from a life lesson. That's our wisdom. And in many ways, we're affecting the world around us because our vibration is different. It ripples out, right? Yeah. And we get to be with Grandmother Earth even closer, because we come to matching her vibration and her frequency more and more often we do that. Yeah. All right, let's see. Good. I scroll up a little bit here. There we go. So let's find out what Kyle has to say about spring. Spring, and that leap that hair is doing. The message is: see your seeds grow, embrace the change that is on the horizon, allow your dreams to become reality. Allow your dreams to become reality. So that's why I was asking about what kind of thoughts have you planted? What kind of dreams are you bringing forth in the springtime? Julie Shumway Hill is saying, I'm planting seeds for a new home and a career change to bring me closer to home so that I can take better care of myself and my family. Yay, that's a good one. Planting those seeds. Now, doing the visualization around it, right? Visualizing what that could be, no matter what it is. Visualizing and then pulling the emotions behind it. Feeling how happy it would be to be able to be home, to go from your office to maybe the kitchen, to maybe make lunch or supper, or to be able to be there for your grandchildren, right? Or maybe it's one of those evening meals that you can actually be home and not tired that you can have with your hubby, right? Whatever it is to visualize it. And Tina says, it's hard to heal fear. It takes time, spiritually, physically. Yep, you're right. It has to go through all of your bodies, your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual bodies in order for it to be a complete healing. And yes, it does take effort, energy, and some earth time, you know. When it comes to the timing piece, it's all in divine timing. So in the divine timing, it could be anything from a moment to years, you know. And the most important thing is that you have the belief and the faith that you've done everything that you could do. And so now it's in the hands of spirit for that next piece to fall into place, right? And I think that sometimes it's in that waiting of that for that divine timing that us two-leggeds complicate things. Because then we try to force it, right? When we think that it's taking too long, or why isn't it here? What did I do wrong? And we start the self-doubt. Yeah, instead of having faith in our spiritual team, our faith in the Creator to realign the timeline for us so that it reflects all the healing that we've done. Because we've changed it. We've changed our timeline by doing that healing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a dream earlier this morning. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it flashed in my mind. It has something to do with what Rochelle had said about praying for this current political administration. I had a dream, and the dream was kind of long, but at any rate, and Minnie was in it too. There was a class that was being held, and Minnie asked me to come over to give her a hand with it. And anyway, that was done, and I was heading home, and I was actually on a bike. I wasn't driving a car, I was on a bike, and I was pedaling. And the bike was just a little bit, whoever had used it before me was a little bit taller than me. And so the seat was up a little bit too high. And I was thinking that I was at the next chance, I was going to pull over, like in a parking lot someplace, and lower the seat, right? And the traffic in this tiny little town just slowed down to practically nothing. And I jumped off the bike, and everybody's looking up, right? And it's blue, blue sky, and there's no clouds, and there's these two huge eagles, and they were flying, and they were circling, right? And they were kind of, as they were flying, one was above the other, and so they were doing this thing, right? Following each other, and it was beautiful. It was like they were dancing. And in my mind, I'm thinking, gee, I wonder if they're a mating pair, you know? And then they switched to, instead of flying together, they were opposite each other, and they had their claws out, almost as if they were fighting, right? And the next scene, I'm at the bottom of this really tall kind of building, and there is somebody. It's like they're rappelling down the side of the building, and it turned out to be a human, a man, that had been one of the eagles, and he was not happy because he ended up, because they were the fight in the sky. He's the one who actually ended up coming back down to land, right? And I'm standing there and I'm watching him, and he's and he's going that something, saying something like that was underhanded and unfair. And that's when I woke up. Yeah. And so as I was talking just a moment ago, this flashed again, and I think it had something to do with Rochelle's prayers for the administration. But it was one of those dreams that was real. Okay, it was one of those kind of dreams. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I don't know how that relates to Tina's comment, because it flashed in with, it actually came in with Tina's comment. It's hard to heal fear. It takes time spiritually and physically. Yeah. Because the eagles, they have that ability and see from a higher perspective. But the eagle is also a symbol of a lot of governments. Not just ours here in the States, but a lot of governments. And so there's a fall. There's a fall coming back down to earth. And from a huge building, like a skyscraper kind of building. Not one that you would find in Toma, Wisconsin, that's for sure. I think the tallest building we have here is like 3 floors. 3 stories. A big city. Interesting. All right, getting back to the card and not my dream. This is the card that came first, springtime. And so it really is about taking the opportunity of the energy of January. We have a few days left, and into February, up to February 19th, because that's kind of the halfway point. And so we have the ability to still plant those seeds. So if you haven't planted your seeds, those thoughts, is what kind of thoughts do you bring to yourself to plant those seeds of what you want to bring in to manifest in the spring, in the coming year? Because, once they manifest in the spring, break through the soil, then we get to the actual germination of them, and the sprouting, the blossom, the growth, and depending on what they are, the harvest, right? The harvest and what that's like later in the year. So now is the time to do the dreaming. Plant the thought, the seed, dream the dream, feel the emotions around the dream, and then turn it over to spirit, and having them to align it, bring it in, bring it to you. So then it's up to you at that point, then once they bring it to you, to ground it to the earth plane. Ground it to the earth plane. So let's see. Kyle goes on to say that you are ready to bring to life all of your ideas, inspirations, and projects. When this card appears, you're moving into a space that allows you to really grow, expand, and create in a way you've never done before. There are opportunities for abundance, including financial growth, and if you're starting something new, prepare for a major expansion in your life and in your soul. How cool is that? So it's about the preparation, right? It's not so much the what as in the how. To be in, to have those thoughts, and to dream the dream, and to put the emotion behind it. That's the how. You can bring anything in, and I tell you what, when you combine the balance between your head and your heart, and you're manifesting from your high heart and speaking from your high heart, that's a place of non-duality, right? Because you're in balance. And so if you can get there, that's even better. That's even better. Because what you're bringing in is in the unified field. And we can do that because we have the knowledge. We have the awareness of it. We have the awareness of it. What's that old saying? You can't unring a bell. You can't unknow something that you know. And so you have the knowledge. It's the application. It's the application. Can't unring that bell. The next card that came, and this guy has come around a few times in the last month, is the Star Ancestor. The Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Follow the voice of your soul. So when you're planting your seeds, when the thoughts that you have, allow your emotions to come in, to be the balance when you're sowing your seeds, right? Follow the voice of your soul. That part of you that is the higher aspect of you. In this card, they always say that we also have our star ancestors supporting us, helping us. We just have to ask them for that help. So we're not in this alone. We have so many who are willing, wanting to help us. All we have to do is ask and allow. Ask and allow. Here, Tina says, I look at the boy and elder you asked me before. Here's an elder who compelled by spirit in a good way, and here's the boy who is compelled by a bad spirit as a standoff. That's what I see from a higher perspective. I may be wrong. And that could be, and I think you're referring to the dream I had this morning, right? Yeah, and that could actually be. What struck me was that the size of these two eagles, and that we could see them really pretty plainly, although they were flying at some distance from us, and how blue the sky was. It was so blue and so clear. And the around me, there was no movement of cars. There was the traffic came to a stop, a standstill. People are getting out of their vehicles and looking up and pointing, right? Everything stopped. Now, I didn't see the actual fall. I was outside of this tall building when this person came crashing down, unhurt, wasn't hurt at all. It was like he had like rappelling gear attached to him, right? And he was angry. He was upset that he was saying that it was unfair and underhanded. It was like fighting dirty, street fighting kind of thing. Yeah. But I didn't see the actual, how he fell out of the sky. When I saw him, he was practically on the ground when I saw him. And I realized it. So, as I laid there and I was asking for, what does this mean? Why did I have to see that? And really what came to me at that point was, that there's more than one government that uses the eagle as a symbol. And whatever this is, there's this fall, and that it's really going to stop people in their tracks. And it's going to be like, did you, look at that. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't even mentioned it to Polly Jo. I mean, honestly, I just kind of sat here with it early this morning. And actually, I need to talk to my mom about it. And I didn't do that because she was in so much pain this morning. That's what we were dealing with. The dream can wait until later, right? Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I will also connect with Polly Jo on it, but it'll be interesting what a 99-year-old Native American elder will say about that. Interesting. Anyway, the Star Nations, the Star Ancestor. The Star Ancestor, it says, follow the voice of your soul. Heed the messages coming directly from your soul. Kyle goes on to say that the Star Ancestor is reminding you that you have outwardly worldly support, and that your friends from the stars can help you if you're willing to be helped. They can support you in connecting with and following your soul's deepest calling. So, the second card always supports the first card, right? And so whatever it is that you are bringing in, that your thoughts, you're planting those seeds, those thoughts, and then visualizing, imagining what it would be like, making it so real that you're really in it and feeling the emotions around it. And then calling on your spiritual team to come in to assist you. And your star ancestors are a part of your spiritual team. And literally, we're turning it over to them to start making those alignments for us, those adjustments, right? Yeah. And Tina says, and then tell us. I'll share it with you guys. And Rochelle says, I'm sending Reiki to your mom. Well, thank you, Rochelle. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. She was doing better this afternoon. After lunch, before I came up here, I checked in on her, and she says she's feeling a little bit better. She's moving around a lot better. Yeah, some of it is just this really frigid cold that we're in, that's affecting her. No matter how warm she is in her room. And I also put on an extra blanket, a Pendleton, a wool blanket on her bed last night, which means that she had 5 blankets on her last night. So it's, it's some things that are out of my control, the weather, and how her body reacts to it. So the Reiki coming in is a good thing. It's a good thing. Thank you, Rochelle. And Kyle goes on to say is that there is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information, inspiration, that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. Continue following the cosmic guidance that's coming your way. So when we can turn to our teams, they can assist us, right? And taking that leap that we're doing, bringing our thoughts and our heart together, creating something for our lives that will be part of our life beginning this spring and all through this coming year, 2019. Yeah. So dream a dream. Dream a good dream. Dream a good dream. Yeah. Good stuff. I'm just checking the... Yeah, Rochelle says she's so tiny. Yeah, she is. Although she, she did lose quite a bit of weight and she's gained some of it back, which is good. Not all of it, but some of it she's gained back. We got to the point where I don't care what she eats as long as she gets some calories in her to burn. And honestly, this is a person who, when I was growing up, made sure we always had vegetables on our plate. It was a balanced plate, right? Even if it was iceberg lettuce, we still had a vegetable. And to see her today, what she eats is like, oh my God. But she's 99, and so what? If that's what you want, all right, I'm going to try to get it for you. So, she eats a lot more simple carbohydrates now rather than the complex. And we both know that it's not, for her hypoglycemia, she really needs the more complex so that she has more of a glucose level in her body. But that it doesn't, I might give it to her, but that doesn't mean she's going to eat it. Yeah. Reminds me of the days when we'd be sitting at the table and we'd have to eat at least half of it before we were allowed to get off the table because we weren't going to waste it. Yeah. So, for instance, her snack today for the afternoon, I left her with, she wanted mint tea. Yay, mint tea. And could you put some honey in there for me? Oh, absolutely. And Paul had gotten donuts this morning, and so she had half a donut with her mint tea for her afternoon snack. Whereas I would normally give her some sort of protein, even if it's plant protein, with her tea, as a snack. Peanut butter or almond butter is really good. Maybe with on an apple or something like that, but she doesn't want that anymore. So here we go. All right, so that is the card information for today. One of the things I'm doing for Thursday night, which is my show Communications from Home at 8 p.m. Eastern, is the Unity Breath meditation, right? And doing that meditation brings us to the frequency of love. The frequency of love. My suggestion, if you haven't planted your seeds, your thoughts yet for the spring, for the coming year, is that after the meditation, because you're going to be at the frequency of love, is to do that planting of those seeds and the visualization, the dreaming the dream, when you're in that frequency of love. That would be my suggestion. Because you got half the equation. half the equation. The only thing you have to add to that is your thoughts and the visualization, using your imagination and putting your emotions, that love that you're in, to that, and plant those, dream the dream. The other thing that's coming up on Tuesday is Polly Joe's show. Yeah, at noon Eastern time, chakra sessions, and she's talking about the layers of heart, I believe. Hang on, let me just double check because I have it up here. Just have to scroll up. Yeah, energy layers of the heart. Okay, so I'm just going to read her description to you. She says, the energy of our heart has many layers, allowing us the ability to feel on many levels. Understanding the dimensions that the heart accesses, as well as its connection to our transcendental heart, teaches us how to let go of heartache or heartbreak more easily. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. That's on Tuesday. Wednesday is her show, Soul Connections, at 7 p.m. Polly Joe, and that's an evening of divine healing and messages. So if you have healing work to do around anything, or to release anything, and you want to do it with a group energy. Now we come in with our own intentions and our own teams, and Polly Joe and her team help us to do that healing and release. But it's our collective energy that makes it very powerful. That's on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Thursday is Elder Day here at Star Nations. Connie Shearwater kicks it off for us at 10:30 a.m. For her show, Spiritual Mysteries of Life. And she's talking about spiritual choice that morning. So you got to come and listen, because there's always nuggets that you walk away from with Connie's show. And then in the evening on Thursday, the 31st, is the Mystery School with Orchard and Carl Franklin at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we get to talk about, because I produce both those shows, we're going to be talking about Carl's new book, which I'm almost finished reading. I just got another chapter or two. Earth's Ascension, Nibiru and the Spirit Realm by Carl Franklin. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. For me, it's a lot of validation. It's stuff I've been studying for years, and yeah, it's good. It's a good book, and so we get to talk about that. Rochelle, of course I am. Good for her. Let her eat donuts. I know, I mean, she's worked so hard her entire life, and so now she gets to have whatever she wants that I can possibly give her. So whatever that is. A lot of times I still do the eye roll. Okay, if that's what you want. And she gets it anyway, but Violet says, thank you, Neshi, for a great message. You're welcome, Violet. You're welcome. We've got to thank my team. They're the ones that bring it to me, and we get to chat about it and bring in the information, right? Which reminds me, anything and everything that we talked about here today, whatever resonated with you is, I encourage you to pick it up and embrace it and see, watch, notice how the energy unfolds for you today and how this information is helpful. Yeah. And, helpful in a way that if you're directly participating in that unfoldment, or if you're a witness, I say either way is good, because we're learning. And if it didn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. We can't resonate with everything that we hear, see, or watch, right? But there might be bits and pieces, or the whole thing. Anything that didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Just let it lie. It wasn't for you. It was for someone else, and that's okay. You're not going to hurt anyone's feelings by saying that didn't resonate with me. I'm going to leave it alone, and that's okay. That's all right. There's always tomorrow, right? And tomorrow's card draw and information. Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be back here tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central, for the daily live stream and the card draw information. Yeah, and if you I don't know, there's supposed to be another winter storm. Of course, the last one didn't really amount to much here, but if you're in the path of that, you're in our thoughts and in our prayers, and stay home, be warm, right? Be warm, and we'll see you tomorrow. Rochelle is saying, thank you, Neshi. Always learn or reinforces what I've heard. Well, you're welcome, Rochelle. You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Baba Mina, until we see each other again. I love you guys.